Hi class. Today in this little video segment we're going to kind of go over the reading that you have assigned tonight. You need to read from pages 30 to 45. And in those pages, basically, page 30 starts right off with in the bathroom, surprisingly enough, where 6 is actually talking to 8. And 6 actually brings up the possibility to 8 that says, hey, what if you convince us all to vote not guilty and the kid really did do it? How would you feel then? 8 actually takes a moment to seriously consider this and is really quite troubled about this because, he does really believe that, we should do a fair job and talk about this trial, but there is the possibility. I mean, the evidence does mostly point to the kid being guilty. So what if they let the kid off and he did do it? Seems to be quite troubling for 8. A little internal conflict there. Later we see also the tension build between two of the bigger, more important characters of this book. 8 and 3, Angry Father versus the Architect. You might have had some hints of them kind of getting angry at each other from the get-go, but they're going to be the really two big people that are going to go head-to-head with this. This is considered an ensemble cast, where all the characters are as important as each other, but really you do see 8 and 3 kind of become the central figures out of all of this, even like the protagonist and antagonist, if you will. So it kind of initially starts off with 8 seeing 3 and 12 play tic-tac-toe out of boredom or frustration. And 8 rips the tic-tac-toe piece of paper away and yells at them saying this isn't a game. This basically erupts and almost comes to fisticuffs. So look for that tension throughout the play. It's going to build up and build up even more. Next up, the guys talk about the L train passing through at the exact same time of the murder. According to the female witness who lives across the street, she saw the murder occur through the last 2 windows of a passing elevated train, in which they kind of determined that the train would have been going by the window a full 10 seconds when the old man underneath heard the words, "I'm going to kill you," and the thump of the body hitting the floor. So as the elevated train is passing by, and the female witness is claiming she saw the murder through the windows of the train into the bedroom, they're claiming that possibly the old man might not have heard the words, "I'm going to kill you." If any of you live next to a train, you kind of realize that that might be a possibility. So while they're arguing whether this old witness could have lied, 9 throws his 2 cents in, and he kind of raises the possibility that maybe the old witness wasn't necessarily lying, but stretching the truth and maybe seeing or hearing things he didn't really hear, just so he could go into court and someone would finally pay attention to him, because nobody pays attention to old people, unfortunately. And so maybe this guy was looking for attention, so maybe he invented some of the facts. Which is kind of interesting. They also brought up the fact that people say the words, "I'm going to kill you" all the time and don't really mean it. So maybe that's another possible doubt that they could raise. Shortly after that little discussion, 5 changes his vote. We saw that coming. There were some definitely hints and some foreshadowing beforehand. And also, shortly thereafter, a little bit of surprise, 11 changes his vote, bringing it 8-4. Still in favor of guilty, but the Architect is definitely making some headway here. We end these 15 pages by also kind of really scrutinizing the old witness's testimony by arguing that since he had 2 strokes and had a limp, that he couldn't have possibly have walked the 12 feet from his bed to his bedroom door, plus the 43.5 feet down the long hallway to the door, in time to see the witness running down the stairs. The old witness claimed it took 15 seconds to walk this 55.5 feet. They're going to actually grab the floor plan and kind of run it through to see if that is actually possible. So, some interesting things are happening. We're really questioning the evidence. We're really picking apart the facts to see if there is a reasonable doubt. My question for you today is I want you to look through all 45 of these pages, and I want you to pick a good fact, and I want you to post that fact in reply to my Edmodo post. You should see that up there right now for your class. So reply to me and post one fact that you found. Make sure that you include the page number as well. Now you don't have to copy it down word for word from the book. You can summarize the fact, put it into your own words. Make sure you have the page number. Now it's first come, first serve. If somebody else has already posted the fact that you wanted, you have to find a different one. No worries, there's plenty of facts out there. It can either be a fact for the guilty side that shows that the kid is guilty, or it can be a fact that raises some reasonable doubt. So, happy hunting, and post your fact on Edmodo, and I'll see you in class to act this very same thing that we talked about. Bye.